You can lay on your back, you can sit up on a bolster or a block or a blanket, or just on your mat. Your hands can be palms up or palms down on your legs. Just take a minute to check in with your body. Check in with your breath. And let today, the week, the month, the year, after class, tomorrow, let it all melt away. If you have thoughts racing in your head, just let them race up. Check in with your body and be mindful of your shape. Are you making a nice straight line with your spine all the way down your back, opening up those neck vertebrae? Excuse me. Tucking those ribs back. And really grounding down with your sit bone. And bring your awareness to your breath. No need to change or judge it. Just become aware of your breath. Start to slow your inhales and slow your exhales. Imagine your breath not just coming in to the top of your lungs, but filling up the space in your midsection all the way down to your diaphragm. Imagine your exhale starting down at that diaphragm and squeezing all the way up through your chest and out through your nostrils. Imagine those inhales not only filling up the front of your lungs, but your back body as well. Imagine your back body expanding from the top through the mid body down to the diaphragm. Do a few breaths together. Start by exhaling out through the mouth together. You can do that again and flutter out through your lips if you'd like. And one more time. And when you're ready, we'll inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause at the top, take a little sip of air, and then exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause at the bottom. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause at the top and exhale. And imagine that air still squeezing out from the diaphragm. At the bottom, give a nice pause and then inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a little sip of air at the top. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do one more together. Inhaling. 2, 3, 4, 5. Taking one more sip at the top. And then exhaling. 2, 3, 4, 5. You can let it go. You can return to your normal breath. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes or raise your gaze. And we'll start with some simple head rolls, neck rolls, sorry. We'll start by moving our chin in a big circle on kind of a slanted, maybe two-dimensional plane. Make a nice big circle leading with the bottom of the chin. If you hear any cracks or creaks, you can always make your circle smaller. When you've done about 3 or 4 of those, go ahead and make a circle in the other direction. A nice big, maybe it's an oval, maybe it's a circle. Just lead with the chin. And when you've had enough of that, we'll come to the shoulders. We'll just shrug the shoulders up and let them go down. Shrug them up, let them go down. When we're like that, shrugging them up and letting them down. Do some nice shoulder rolls to the back. You can release your arms from your legs if that's more comfortable. And then some shoulder rolls to the front. We can place our arms out nice and long. You can, if you have the ability to kind of flex your hands, please do. If not, you can always bend your fingers to make fists to keep that palm nice and straight. But from here, let's make little circles with our arms. Making sure the arms are jutting out from each other at 180 degrees. Sure. Yeah. And then the other side. Hello, Clementine. Hello, Angel. I know. I'm gonna make those circles a little bigger. Then the other way. Then giant circles. You can cross them in the center if you'd like. And then go ahead and do it the other way. When you're ready, we'll bring those arms back to our nice long 180-degree arms. Flex those palms. And from here, you can, of course, straighten your fingers out or bend them. Just go ahead and rotate those wrists. Rotate the whole arm. I'm rotating my whole arm. But kind of rotate in the wrist. Start there. Move your whole arm. Just back and forth. Like you're undoing a jar. I have a hard time keeping my fingers straight and my palms at 90 degrees. And when you're done with that, release your arms down, give your shoulders a little shake, give your arms a funny wiggle out. And then we'll go to cartoon cactus arms. From here, I want you to imagine you're pulling your shoulder blades so that they're almost touching each other behind you. Really feeling it in the top of the shoulder here, maybe back in your rhomboids, keeping those shoulders at a 90-degree angle, really pulling those shoulder blades in together. From here, we'll make fists, drop one arm down, bring the other one up for our robot arms. Arms are like, you haven't worked me out in so long, what are you doing? Then stretch those arms all the way up into the air when you're ready. See if you can tuck those ribs in. See if you can reach those pinkies kind of towards each other. Excuse me. From here, we'll put the right arm down on the ground. Reach that left arm over top. Option to bind here just by taking that hand into that hip crease. You can also just shine the chest towards the ceiling if you'd like. Release your arms wherever they are. We'll make a nice big sweeping motion across the front and come into our stretch on the other side. Placing that left arm down. Reaching that right arm overhead. Oh, hello, Monty. We'll come back to the center, reach those arms nice and tall, and we'll drop down to the front. And round in your back here, you can tense your fingers if you'd like. can drop your head down. You can nod your head yes. You can shake your head no. You can move your head I don't know. Imagine the reverse action of those shoulder blades. Instead of pulling them together, can you pull them, or sorry, instead of pushing them together, can you pull them apart? Can you find space between those shoulder blades? Maybe dropping your head helps you find more space. Maybe it hinders you from finding more space. When you're ready, we'll just slump into our forward fold. Relaxing here and gently pulling ourselves back up into a seated position. When you're ready, we will meet in tabletop at the center of the mat. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Never tell. Press into your fingertips, press into the palms of your hands here. Can you press the ground away from you? Can you feel into the back of those shoulder blades again? Can you find space there when you push the ground away from you? And now we'll take a nice deep inhale. Nice big exhale. On your next inhale, we'll drop our udder down, shine our chest forward for a cow pose. Exhale to round your back, coming into your cat. Inhaling for cow. And exhaling for cat. Inhaling for cow. Really shine your udder forward. Shine your udder forward. Shine your chest forward and drop that udder down. See if you can really push yourself into the pose. Continue to breathe here. And on your next exhale, we'll do the reverse action, pulling that belly button towards the spine, making a nice deep arch in your back. Option to tense your fingertips and come up onto your head toes. Nice few rounds of breath here in your cat. Feeling that space between your shoulder blades. On your next inhale, we'll come back into our cow pose. And exhale into your cat pose. Go ahead and continue this motion at your own pace and your own breath. Picking any variations that may help you wake up your spine, back. When you're ready, we'll come to stillness at the center of the mat. Start by lifting that left arm into the air for a gentle twist. See if you can keep equal weight in both knees. Twist from that midsection. Option to bind here, you can just stick that hand back in that hip crease. Or just concentrate on shining that chest towards the wall. On your next exhale, we'll go ahead and thread that needle, bringing the outside of the shoulder onto the mat. You can reach that opposite hand out in the, I don't know, in front. You can bring that leg to the back. Next, exhale, bring your knee and hand back to your tabletop, reaching that arm into the air. Exhaling to bring it back to tabletop. Lifting the opposite arm into the air. Lifting from that midsection, bringing those shoulders in up to alignment, or as close as you can. Feeling those shoulder blades squeeze each other right now. And on your exhale, you can thread that needle under. Place the outside of the shoulder onto the mat. Reach the opposite hand and leg in either direction. Breathe here for me. And on your next exhale, you can come back to the mat. Reach that arm up into the air. Exhale back down to the ground. Deep breath in our tabletop. Nice deep exhale. We'll go into our, I don't know, silly exercises? Silly exercises. All right. So staying here in our tabletop pose, we're going to take the left knee into the air at a 90-degree angle. Check in with your right knee after your left knee's in the air. Actually bring it to a 90-degree angle. And see if you can somehow balance the weight in your two front limbs. Hello, darling. And the weight in your back leg. If you need to make any adjustments, please do. Let's see if I were to put a block on my hips, it should stay because I should be nice and square. But I'm also trying to put this piece of furniture next to me a Jeep. So 5 nice deep breaths. You can hold in those lower abs if that helps. You can press that mat away from you with your hands. And on your next exhale, we'll drop that leg down. Recenter yourself. And we'll go ahead and inhale the leg up. And exhale back down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Try to minimize your rocking back and forth as much as possible. I'm talking to myself here. One more big inhale up and exhale back down. Onto the other leg, lifting that leg up to a 90-degree angle, bringing that knee parallel to the floor. Can you keep your weight equal in your arms? Breathing here. 5 nice, big, deep breaths. On your next exhale, we'll go ahead and drop that knee back down to the mat. Make any adjustments you may need to. And we'll lift it up for 1. Exhale down. Lift it up for 2. Exhale down. Again, watch the rocking in the front of the body. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. 2 more. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. 1 more. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Take a nice deep breath here. Maybe give your hips a little shake out if they need it. And we will bring our knees to our nose. So starting with that left knee, lift that knee to the nose. And just hold it there. That's what we're doing right now. Again, check in with those palms. Check in with those arms. Check in with our hips. Do you feel even? Do you feel balanced? On your next exhale, you can bring that knee back to the mat. Inhale it up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Do two more like that. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Other knee. Bring that knee to your nose as close as you can. Checking in with the rest of your limbs, feeling nice and equal and balanced. Pushing the mat away with your hands, feeling that space in between your shoulder blades. Bringing your knee back to the mat. On your next exhale, you can bring that knee up. Inhale back down. Exhale up. Inhaling down. Exhaling back up. Inhaling down. Exhaling up. Inhaling down. Do one more like that. Exhaling up. And inhaling back down. You can give your hips a little shake out, maybe a nice tilt and tuck with your pelvis. When we're ready, we'll come into our fire hydrants. All right, first, lifting that left leg at a 90-degree angle to the side, adjusting your legs so you're not putting all your weight to one side. You have nice equal weight in those hands. Oh, hello, Clementine. Hi. You a big fan of this poem, lady? On your next exhale, you can lower your knee down with any adjustments you may need to. We'll go ahead and inhale, lift that knee up, and exhale down. Inhaling up, and exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, and exhaling down. Do one more like that. Inhaling up, and exhaling down. Other side, make any adjustments you may need to. Maybe give your hips a little shake out here. We'll lift the right leg up to the opposite side. Cheating. Breathing here. Pushing the mat away from you, feeling space between those shoulder blades. Your next exhale, lower that leg back down. And we'll inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. One more, inhaling up and exhaling down. You can go ahead and push yourself down to child pose. Maybe give your hips a little shake out here. Maybe a nice little tilt and tuck. Give your neck a rest. Take your head yes, nod your head no. All right. And when you're ready, we'll come back up into our tabletop pose. Tuck the toes under. Press up into downward facing dog. Your feet can be hips width distance apart, or wider, or narrower, whatever you're more comfortable with. You can pedal out through the legs here. Happens to be my favorite thing in the world, because I can finally stretch my calves. When you've had enough of that, we can inhale those heels up into the air and exhale to pull them down to the mat. Pressing the mat away from you, lifting in the back of your thighs. You can nod your head yes here, you can shake your head no, move your head I don't know. And open your jaw, make sure you're not holding any tension there. When you're ready, we'll roll forward to plank pose. Tucking the tailbone. And then press back to downward facing dog. From here, you can lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, open up the hips, really pull that heel towards the bum. Your next exhale, come back to our three-legged dog. Nice long legs. For your next exhale, we'll roll forward to plank. Nice three-legged plank here. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. 3 more like that. Inhaling to plank. Exhaling to down dog. Inhaling to plank. Exhaling to down dog. 1 more like that. Inhaling to plank. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Bend that knee, pull that heel towards the bum. Open those hips up nice and wide. When you're ready, you can place your foot back down and come back into your downward facing dog. All right. Other side, lifting that opposite leg into the air for a three-legged dog. Pulling that right heel down to the mat. Open those hips up, bend that knee, pull that heel towards the bone. Nice deep breath here. From here, elongate that leg, nice long three-legged dog. So you can feel in the back of your quad of your standing leg. Big inhale here. Exhale, three-legged plank. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, three-legged plank. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, three-legged plank. 1 more. Down dog. Exhaling to plank. Go ahead and drop your foot down. Press back into your downward facing dog. Breathing here. Go ahead and roll forward to plank pose. From here, we'll drop the right knee to the ground. Swing that left foot over, and you can bring your arm up for supported side plank. Once you are in your supported side plank and comfortable, you can then slide that leg out for a side. Breathing here, make sure you're breathing. Exhale, drop that hand back down. Coming back into your downward facing dog. Press back into that down dog. We'll roll forward to plank again. Dropping that left knee down, this time swinging that right knee over. We'll get into a nice, comfortable, supported side plank. Once you feel supported, then you can slide that knee over and come into your side plank. Exhale that hand back down. Press back into your downward facing dog. And when you're ready, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Your first forward fold, you can be as deep or as shallow as you'd like. Your knees can be bent or straight. Just relax the top half of the body down into the ground and the bottom half of the body down to the ground. Imagine you're oozing from the waist. Or by swinging your hips gently from side to side. You can imagine drawing a figure eight. Bring your hands into the motion too, swaying back and forth. Feel nice and languid and loose in this fold. And when you're ready to come to stillness in the center, we'll place the hands on the shins and come to our nice long flat back. Breathe here. Nice big inhale. And then exhale, fold back down. Maybe you fold a little bit more deeper this time. Maybe your knees are a little less bent. Option to grab opposite elbows here. Or interlace your hands back behind your back. Release your hands wherever you are. Let them drop to the mat. Check in with your neck. Make sure you can nod your head yes. You can shake your head no. You can move your head I don't know. When you're ready, you can gently roll up to a standing position at the front of the mat. Now give my legs a little shake out. Have a drink of kombucha. All right. Starting with our sun salutations. Starting a mountain pose at the front of the mat. Pressing those feet into the ground. Inhale your arms into the air. From here, we'll exhale the fold forward. Inhale, hands on chins, nice long flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Then press back to a down dog. Nice deep breath in downward facing dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, you can place your hands on your shins for your inhale. Exhale to fold forward again. Inhale to gently roll up to stay. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhale the arms into the air, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands on hips, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. Go ahead and go into your vinyasa. That's not nice, but that did not feel nice. You can lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Come in for a low cobra or upward facing dog, and then press back for a down dog. Breathing in down dog. Then your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold. at the front of the mat. From here, you can place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward and inhaling to gently roll up to stand. All right. Pressing the mat away with the bottom of the feet. Inhaling the arms above the head. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And press back to a down dog. Breathing here. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. And exhale, just fold forward. On your next inhale, you can gently roll up to stand. Do 2 more like that. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. You can inhale your arms above your head. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog, and press back to a down dog. Breathing here. Your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale to gently roll up to stand. All right. Breathing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhale the arms up into out. Beware of your furniture. Inhale your arms up above your head. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat. Exhale to fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to press back to down dog. Breathing here. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale to gently roll up to stand. All right. All right. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Really press the outer edges of your feet into the ground. Feel that string pulling at the top of your spine for a nice long back here. Can you bring your arms into the air and still feel that space between those shoulder blades? A nice deep breath here. Exhaling. One more nice deep inhale. Option to heel toe the feet together, but we're going to bend the knees and lower the bum down for chair pose. Breathing here. In my mind, my butt is on the ground, and I look at this image and I am so far from the ground. Nice deep breath in here. Exhale, fold forward. Plant those hands, step back to your plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And press back to a down dog. Breathing in down dog. Your next inhale will lift the right leg into the air for a three-legged dog. Feel nice and long in your limbs here. Bend that knee, bring that heel towards the bum, open those hips up nice and big. Breathing excessively here. And your next inhale, take a nice deep inhale here. And swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. Until you're in your nice sturdy low lunge. You feel nice in this low lunge, do you feel sturdy? See if you can bring that front shin perpendicular to the floor. Really stretch in that inner thigh here. Here, just heel to, oh no, kick that foot up so it's about 6 or 12 inches closer. We're gonna drop that bottom back knee. Put the top of the foot onto the mat. I'm just gonna lift the hands into the air and gaze at the thumbs for a nice gentle back bend here. Urdhva Hastasana. Can you feel a stretch in the front of your back quad? But I have really tight quads. Exhale here, frame that front foot. We're gonna take that back foot and bring it in about 12 to 18 inches, whatever you need to do to get both feet, both heels onto the mat. You can grab some blocks if you want, or reach for the mat here. We are imagining the forehead is pulling its way towards the shin. And when you're done with that, you get rid of any props you may have. Frame that front foot, kick that front foot back to meet the back. Get back into your plank pose. Lower your knees, chest cinch into the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And press back to down dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Nice long legs, pulling that right heel towards the mat. Bend that knee, heel towards the bum. Open up the hips nice and wide. Nice deep breath here. And on your next exhale, we'll swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. We're going to come into a nice deep low lunge here. You can feel that stretch maybe in your back hip flexor. We'll bring that back foot in a little bit. Bring that knee down, top of the foot onto the mat, and lift the arms up above the head. Again, you should feel this in your back, front of your back quad. Front of your back quad. Maybe you bring your arms a little bit further back for a nice gentle back bend if you'd like. Exhale to frame that front foot. Back toes under, kick that back foot up a little bit. 12 inches, 18 inches. Whatever it takes to get both heels on the mat. Breathing here, imagining that forehead is reaching towards that front shin. Your next exhale, you can get rid of any props. Get that front foot back to meet the back. We'll come into plank pose. Lowering the knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Pressing back to a down dog. Breathing here. Your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. And on your next inhale, just gently roll up to a standing pose. All right. Standing in the front of your mat and mountain pose, feet reaching into the ground. Inhale your arms into the air. Exhale, folding forward. No, yep. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming back up to a beautiful standing pose, and then coming into your chair pose. From here, we'll bring our hands to center front, to heart center. And you can go ahead and hook one of your elbows around your knees and press yourself into a chair pose twist. Breathing here. Your next inhale, we'll come back to center. Nice chair pose, and exhale to the other side. On your next inhale, we'll come back to our chair pose, and exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back to your plank pose. Lower the knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog, and pressing back to a down dog. Breathing here. On your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. Come into your low lunge. Rotate that back heel down. We'll come into our warrior one. On your next exhale, we'll bring those hands behind you, interlace your fingers back behind your back, and come forward for a humble warrior. Inhaling up for warrior one. Exhaling down to bring that front foot, kick that front foot back to meet the back. Plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog, and press back to down dog. Take one deep breath in downward. On your next inhale, we'll lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend that knee, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. We'll rotate that back heel down. Ooh, doggy. And we'll come into warrior one. Nice, straight front knee. Nice, even, beautiful hips facing forward. On your next exhale, go ahead and interlace your fingers back behind your back. We're thumb on top this time. We'll go ahead and fold forward. Coming to humble warrior. On your next inhale, come on up to warrior one. Exhale to frame that front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back for plank pose. On your next exhale, you can lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog, and pressing back to down dog. 3 breaths in down dog. Or child pose, whatever's more restful for you. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. And we'll gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Let's lift our arms into the air. Take a nice deep breath in here. On your next exhale, we'll fold forward. You're going to plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. I'll come into a low cobra, upward facing dog, and press back to a down dog. Lifting that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend that knee, swing the foot forward. Help it if you need to. You're gonna rotate the back foot down. Inhale up for warrior one. Exhale down for humble warrior. Inhale out for warrior two. Excuse me. Put that palm up, forward, and back to reverse your warrior. We'll straighten that front knee. Come forward and down for triangle pose. Back up for warrior two. And come down for side angle pose. Go ahead and frame that front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Exhaling back to a down dog. Inhaling that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your knees, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. Rotate that back heel down. We'll go ahead and inhale up to warrior one. We'll exhale our weird thumb on top to humble warrior. We'll inhale out to warrior two. Put that palm up and reach back to reverse your warrior. Straighten that front leg. Come forward and down for triangle pose. Inhaling back up for warrior two. And down for side angle pose. On your next exhale, you can frame that front foot, kick that front foot back to meet the back, come into a downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra, and exhaling, pressing back to downward facing dog. Breathing in down dog. Or child's pose, whatever you find more restful. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. Turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can gently roll up to stand. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Standing in mountain pose at the front of your mat. On your next inhale, let's lift the arms into the air. Exhale to bend your knees and come into a chair pose. Nice deep inhale here. And then exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lowering your knees, chest and chin. Coming into an upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. Inhaling your right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend that knee, open the hips up. Swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. We'll rotate that back heel down. Inhaling up for warrior one. Exhaling down for humble warrior. Inhaling up for warrior one. Exhaling out for warrior two. Inhaling back to reverse your warrior. Exhaling forward and then down for triangle. Inhaling back up for warrior two and exhaling down for side angle pose. On your next exhale, you can rotate those hands out and bring that front foot back to meet the back. Plank pose. Lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog and pressing back to down dog. Deep breath in down dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. We're gonna rotate that back heel down. Inhale up for warrior one. Exhale down, weird thumb on top. Reverse your warrior, humble warrior. Inhale up, warrior one. Exhale out, warrior two. Inhale back, reverse your warrior. Exhale forward and down for triangle pose. Inhale up for warrior two. And exhale down for side angle pose. On your next exhale, you can frame your front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank. Go ahead and lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling to press back to down dog. 3 deep breaths here in down dog or child's pose. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, gently roll up to stand. You can release your arms to either side. All right, let's drink of water. We'll do one more of those. Standing mountain pose at the front of the mat. We'll lift the arms into the air. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, big inhale here. Exhale, fold forward. Go ahead and plant your hands here. We'll step back. Plank pose. From here, you can lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And press back to down dog. Now lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee. Bring that foot forward, help it if you need to. We'll rotate the back heel down and come into warrior one. Exhale down, humble warrior. Inhale up to warrior one. Exhale out to warrior two. Inhale up to reverse your warrior. And exhale forward and down for triangle. Inhale up for warrior two. And exhale down for side angle. From here, you can windmill your arms down. We'll come to a wide-legged forward fold at the side of the mat. Nice deep breath here. Go ahead and walk our hands over to that right leg. Place your hands on your ankle or your shin or the mat. And then go ahead and walk your hands back to center and then over to the left. And we'll walk back to the center. Go ahead and rotate your feet. We'll frame that front foot again. Kick that front foot back to knee to back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank. Go ahead and lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale back to a downward facing dog. Deep breath here. On your next inhale, we'll lift that left leg in the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. We'll come into our nice sturdy low lunge, rotate that back heel down. We'll inhale up to warrior one. Exhale down to humble warrior, weird thumb on top. Inhale up to warrior one. Exhale out to warrior two. Inhale up to reverse your warrior. Exhale out to warrior two. Inhale up and out for triangle, down. Exhaling down for triangle. Inhaling back up for warrior two. And then exhaling down to side angle pose. From here, we can windmill those arms down and come into your wide-legged forward fold again. This time we'll heel toe the feet together and we'll come into a squat. Whatever squat is comfortable for you. Apparently not a squat is comfortable for me today. And when you've had enough of that, you can push that bum back in the air. Come around to the front of the mat. Come back into your downward facing dog. We'll roll forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And exhale to press back to down dog. Breathing here. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward, so you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale back to standing pose. And shake everything out. All right. We're gonna do a couple balancing poses, or I guess one balancing pose on both sides. So when you're ready, place all four corners of the foot on the mat. You can, I'm gonna do what I've been doing. You can do a tree pose if you'd like. Just gonna bring this knee up to a right angle. So I find that very difficult. Breathing here. Exhaling that leg down, and can bring all four corners of that foot to the mat and bring that other leg up. Either in a tree pose or nice right angle forward. Drop that leg down, give your legs a little shake out. Fix my mat. Then we'll go ahead and come to a mountain pose at the front of the mat. Okay. Standing in a mountain pose, let's lift those arms into the air. Exhale down to forward fold. Plant those hands, step back, plank pose. You can lower those knees, Chest and chin to the mat if you'd like. Come up for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And press yourself back to a down dog. Give yourself a little hip shake here. We'll lift that right leg into the air for three-legged dog. Bend that shin, bend that knee and swing that shin forward. And come into our pigeon pose. Oh. Give yourself any support you may need. Make sure your back leg is nice and straight behind you. And inhale your chest up into the air and then fold forward. In your next inhale, you can lift your head, neck, and chest off the mat. And go back into a tabletop. You can give your hips a little shake out. We'll just press back into downward facing dog. Lifting that left leg into the air this time, bending that knee and swinging that shin forward. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight behind you. And shine that chest forward and fold down the pit. On your next inhale, you can lift your head, neck, and chest off the mat. Adjust yourself back to your tabletop pose. Maybe give your hips a little shake up. Press yourself back into downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa here. If you'd like to, you can roll forward to your plank, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Roll forward to upward facing dog and press back to down dog. When you've had enough of that, you can come back to your plank and just lower your body onto the mat. Want to give your hips a little shake here. We'll roll onto the back. From here, go ahead and windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Now we'll hug them into the chest, nice and tight. From here, we'll go ahead and place both feet on the mat. We'll take the right ankle to the left knee, lift that left leg into the air. Nice right angle. You can grab the back of the left leg if you'd like with your hands and press that right knee away from you. Or left knee, sorry. If you haven't found anything to stretch here, you can always just gently rock back and forth and try to find some place that might be a little bit more stuck. Might need a nice stretch. And release your legs. Go ahead and change the crossing. Bring that other leg up into the air. Grab the back of the thigh. Press the knee away with your elbow. And search for a nice sore stuck spot. You can release your legs down. Go ahead and windshield wiper your knees back and forth. Then we'll place the feet about fingertips distance away and we'll come into our bridges. Starting off first with just tilting and tucking the pelvis. Which I feel is such a silly move, which is why my hips are so tight and why I need to do this. And go ahead and let your next tuck of your pelvis lift your hips off the mat and come into a nice gentle bridge. Exhale, roll that spine back down to the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. Tilt that pelvis nice and drastically. Tilt it. Tuck it. Tilt your pelvis, tuck it so drastically it lifts those hips into the air. And then roll that spine back down to the mat. We'll do one more like that, lifting those hips into the air. Bringing that spine back to the mat. Go ahead and windshield wiper your legs out, back and forth. This time we'll go into our full bridge. You can do active bridges or supported bridges. 3 active bridges. On your next inhale, tuck that pelvis, lift it into the air. You can wiggle your shoulder blades back behind you, closing that gap between them. You can interlace your fingers back behind you as well. 3 to 5 good breaths here. Go ahead and release your hands, release your shoulder blades, release your spine back to the mat. And give your knees a little windshield wiper back and forth. And when you're ready to come to stillness, you can lift those hips into the air again and come into your second active bridge. Bringing those shoulder blades together, interlacing your fingers back behind you. Breathing here. Release your hands, release your shoulder blades. Windshield wiper out those knees. And when you're ready, you can lift that pelvis into the air again. Wiggle those shoulder blades beneath you. Interlace your fingers back behind your back. And take 3 to 5 good breaths in your bridge. Release your arms, release your shoulder blades, release your spine back down to the mat. You can windshield wiper your knees back and forth. We'll come into a gentle inversion. Whatever that means, you could be legs up the wall. It could be your sacrum on a block like I have right now. You could have a supported shoulders, stand and lift your body up. You can just lift your legs in the air, whatever you'd like. If you are supported if you feel comfortable and supported in your inversion, I suggest doing that same movement with your legs that we did with our hands earlier, imagining your feet are your palms, nice, flexed feet, and just rotating those ankles with an interior rotation and exterior rotation. Bring your legs to stillness. You can point and flex your feet if you'd like. And when you're ready, you can release any props you may have and come down to the mat. We'll hug those knees into your chest again, nice and tight. This time we'll do a reverse tabletop. I just want to feel the way. Okay, so if you're in a tabletop pose, and let's say you're doing a fire hydrant, so you're just lifting that leg to the side. But maybe when you're in your tabletop, your hips get maybe a little shaky. So here's an opportunity to feel that pose while being supported by the ground. So go ahead and bring your knees to a nice 90-degree angle here and just practice bringing those legs into your fire hydrant while keeping those hips stable. You can use your hands to keep your hips stable if you'd like. Maybe that feels like you're not opening them enough or as much. And when you've had enough of that silliness, we're gonna hug those knees in once again. This time we're just gonna drop them to one side and come into your gentle twist. Your hands can be outstretched, they can be in cartoon cactuses, they can be placed on your knee. You can place one hand on your knee and one hand outstretched. If you would like, you can gaze at the ceiling. You can bring your chin over that opposite arm. It is quite an intense stretch. You do want to just bring that chin towards the ceiling. Your next inhale, you can bring those knees back to center. Give yourself a nice hug in the chest. Hug in the chest. Bring your knees to your chest for a nice hug. And then drop them to the other side for your final twist. Again, you can have your arms outstretched. You can place an arm on your knee. And have your gaze to the ceiling or on the opposite shoulder. On your next inhale, you can come back to the center, hug your knees into your chest nice and tight. Reach for those feet for the interior. And stuff, sure. Come into your happy baby. You can pull those knees into your armpits, can rock back and forth, whatever you want. Excuse you, that's mine. When you're ready, you can release yourself down into your final resting pose. Don't do it. Jeez. Okay. Bring your awareness back to your breath. It's not already there. Hey, you're ruining everything. You're ruining. Leave it. Leave it. Oh, leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Thank you for this embarrassing look into my life. Leave it. Bring our hands to heart center and close with one Om. Thank you so much for joining me for yoga. Thank you so much for putting up with my dogs. I appreciate everything. Inhaling again. Oh. Loka, Samasta, Sukhino, Bhavantu. May all creatures be free.